I love sci-fi. Emphasis on the science fiction. Some of my favorite games are XCOM and FTL, and I'm a huge fan of Star Trek The Next Generation and Seth MacFarlane's The Orville.
Sir, I wish to request a leave of absence.
For what reason?
I have laid an egg.
But when it comes to life from another world coming to visit us, that's a different story. This is what I think about aliens. Now, as much as I would love to believe that there are other intelligent life forms out there in the universe, I find it very hard to believe that there are any that we would ever know about, let alone be visited by. There are millions of people who believe that we've been visited by aliens on Earth, that these aliens even played a significant role during several points throughout human history, one of the most prominent theories being that aliens aided in the construction of the pyramids in Egypt. And perhaps now more than ever, people are certain that aliens exist, that they pop in for a visit every now and then. The most compelling evidence that I've seen are accounts of trained military pilots who encounter unusual phenomena in the air, such as Commander David Fravor.
We look down and the Wizzo in the other airplane comes up and says, "Hey, Skipper, do you?" And that's about what he gets out of his mouth. And I'm kind of looking at the same thing. I go, "Dude, do you see that? What is that thing?" And what we see is this white tic-tac looking object just above the surface of the water, pointing north-south, and it's going north-south, east-west. It's just radically moving forward, back, left, right at will. And as I'm pulling up, it's kind of starting to cross my nose, and it starts to accelerate. And within about less than a second, as I start to pull nose onto it and it crosses right in front of me, it just goes poof, and it's gone.
But despite all of this evidence, I do not believe that aliens have ever visited Earth in any way. And that's only because of sheer probability. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm no astrophysicist or by any means an expert in anything. But the probability of intelligent life existing at the same time as us within the same region of space is so incredibly small that the odds are virtually impossible. If we wish to believe that aliens have traveled to Earth and or interacted with humans, we have to accept two separate ramifications for that to be true. And that's space and time. Let's talk about space first. Not only do the conditions of a planet have to be extremely precise for life to evolve, aliens from another world would be simply too far away to ever visit our planet. The nearest star to our solar system, Proxima Centauri, is 4.24 light years away. To put that into perspective, the fastest any human has ever traveled was during the Apollo 10 mission, traveling at 24,791 miles per hour. If someone were to travel consistently at that rate to reach another star system, it would take them over 100,000 years to get there. Not only will they be long dead by then, they surely wouldn't even be able to make it there. I mean, a lot can happen in 100,000 years, right? Hell, 100,000 years ago on Earth, Neanderthals were still walking about. And that's just one star away. Odds are, aliens would develop on a star system much further away than that. The idea of aliens visiting us is highly preposterous just by this fact alone. Okay, let's say that the hypothetical alien species somehow defies laws of physics, or just lives a long time. Let's also assume that it's able to detect life on Earth, and it travels here for whatever reason. The idea that this happens at the same time as our lifetime, or even during human history at all, is equally impossible. If intelligent alien life developed at some point in a different part of the universe, it would not be during the same time as us humans. Time is simply too vast. There is a near infinite amount of time in our past and an almost infinite amount of time in our future. Our sliver of time is so minuscule, it's almost non-existent. If intelligent life on a faraway planet develops, it will either be billions of years in the future, or a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. The chances of an alien race developing at the same time as us is virtually zero.
Do not be frightened. We mean you no harm.
You speak English.
I am actually speaking Rigelian. By an astonishing coincidence, both of our languages are exactly the same.
Now, I would very much like to believe that aliens are among us, and that they're very aware of our presence. It's true that I don't believe in the possibility of them existing alongside us, but there's a few theories that I have that I find to be very romantic, and I would love for them to be true. The first theory is that the universe does not exist as we have come to observe it, and the universe is actually teeming with life. This theory mainly comes from the science fiction shows like Star Trek and The Orville. In both of these shows, life is found on hundreds of planets across the galaxy. They interact, visit each other, work together, and go to war across the universe. In both of these shows, the main organizations have a code of ethics that prohibits the aliens from ever contacting intelligent life until they've surpassed a certain technology threshold. In Star Trek, that threshold is warp technology, meaning that they will never contact an intelligent species until they've developed the technology to exceed the speed of light. For us humans, I like to think of us as an intelligent, but still growing and developing, like a child species. Perhaps there are several different species of aliens from faraway worlds that are very aware of us and monitor us from a distance, just as we might monitor but not disturb other cultures that are unaware of advanced civilized life. Perhaps the galaxy is not as it seems, and the fact that we are alone in the universe is simply an illusion. Kind of like a blanket placed around our solar system to hide other life from our telescopes until we've evolved into a greater civilization. I really like this idea, and I would love for this to be true. Another theory I really like is the idea that life on Earth was caused by a faraway species, and we are merely the descendants of an ancient civilization. We're pretty sure that life on Earth started with the primordial soup, basically single-celled organisms that came to be from some billion-year-old lightning magic. And from that, life evolved over billions of years until finally we're here, where we spend most of our time eating and watching YouTube videos.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Anyway, I like to believe that this primordial soup that we evolved from was initially placed on Earth from a faraway planet of ancient intelligent beings. Maybe this planet was facing a catastrophic planet-wide apocalypse, and in order to preserve life, they had to spread their DNA across the virgin universe, on asteroids hurtling through space like a giant cosmic sperm, and Earth just happened to be one of those planets with the prime conditions to support life. This is actually an idea that was explored in the Next Generation episode, The Chase. They discovered that the DNA between the differing species all shared a commonality, which meant that they all evolved from the same species millions of years ago. This is the explanation for why all aliens, despite them evolving on vastly different worlds, are all humanoid in shape, with 2 arms, 2 legs, and a big ol' head. The last theory I really like is not about aliens visiting Earth, but actually us eventually becoming the aliens. The universe is so unfathomably large that we haven't even explored a drop in the ocean. I would really like to believe that there is life out there somewhere in the universe, but as I mentioned before, the conditions to go out and discover these distant regions of space is simply not possible for us. We would die way before the journey has even begun. Let's say that we try to explore another solar system. Our bodies require food, water, air, atmospheric pressure, gravity, and ideal temperature conditions, just to name a few of the issues our fragile bodies have to deal with. But our human legacy, artificial intelligence, does not need to worry about these conditions. The only thing an AI needs to worry about is energy and the occasional physical repairs. Other than that, AI has the potential to spread across the galaxy, to represent Earth and visit faraway planets. Think about it. It took millions of years for humans to evolve to have the amount of intelligence we have today. But computers have only been around for a short period of time. The rate of improvement for computers is astronomical. The microSD card on my Nintendo Switch is this small, and it holds the equivalent of 16,000 of my memory cards for my PS2 15 years ago. When I was born, computer-generated videos looked like this. Now, they look like this.
Save him. It's you and me, bud.
Imagine how advanced technology will be 10, 50, 100 years from now. Humans are so fragile and inefficient. AI is the future whether we like it or not, and if we play our cards right, or wrong, AI will become the human legacy. With a far greater intelligence than ours, they will outlive the human race, keep our legacy alive, and will have the capacity to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations.
To boldly go where no one has gone before.
Thank you so much for watching my video. Let me know in the comments which of my theories you think is most plausible, or if you disagree with my thoughts. If you want to see more, please subscribe.
Hasta luego, primo!